going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars job. And now the NFL Network, I think there's 4 or 5 people reporting that Urban Meyer assembling a staff, and he's going to take the Jags job. First of all, I think Urban Meyer owed himself this. He's 56 years old. One of the great college football coaches of all time, and as good an analyst in college football as the sport has ever seen. He's 56. What is he going to golf for the next 30 years? Be an administrator at a Big Ten school? He owes himself this. He is younger than Sean Payton and John Harbaugh. He's 56. College football now, because there's 2 signing periods, is a relentless 365 days recruiting schloid. It's not as much fun as it used to be. There's no off season. And he's able to cherry pick what I consider to be a perfect job for him. Remember, doesn't have to be a perfect job in Jacksonville, but it's the perfect job for Urban. He's got a home there. Florida Gator country. He's an icon. He gets Trevor Lawrence. He's an offensive gifted coach. The division's always been sort of winnable and quirky. They've got a ton of cap space. They've got draft picks, and he'll have personnel say. He's also been promised the facilities will be upgraded. But this is the difference why Urban's probably, of all the coaches I've met in my life, college football coaches, I think Urban's really, really smart. If not the smartest, it's a short list. Is that a lot of coaches just take jobs. It goes back to the LeBron KD thing. Chess and checkers. A lot of coaches just take jobs because they're open or they're desperate. He treats his profession like a stockbroker treats stocks. So I've been following Urban Meyer for 20 years. Utah's always been a good program. It had 2 down years with Ron McBride, an old coach. He retired. Good program down. He swoops into Utah, boom, 10, 11 wins. He goes to Florida. Great program. Ron Zook could recruit, could not be a head coach. Great program down. Swoops in, national titles. Ohio State, great program, down. Luke Fickell, 6-7. Swoops in, doesn't lose a conference game for 2 years. Most coaches, they just take jobs out of desperation. They take what's offered. There's no strategy behind it. Jacksonville just got the world's smartest stockbroker. They're an $8 stock. The minute they draft Trevor Lawrence, they're a $28 stock. And Urban Meyer, with that cap space, few free agents, they're a $48 stock. Too many coaches I'm a ball coach. I got my whistle. I got my plays. Urban Meyer's miles ahead of that. It's not the first job he's been offered. Utah wasn't the only job. Florida wasn't the only job. Ohio State wasn't the only job. He had Penn State or Ohio State. He had Notre Dame or Florida. He's always taken the job. Entry points matter. You don't want to follow Howard Stern. You don't want to follow Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. You don't want to follow Dean Smith at Carolina. This is a perfect entry point and a perfect fit. I don't know if they win Super Bowls, but if you go look at the AFC South, it's been 9 years since somebody won 12 games. And there's only one big-time quarterback in the conference, big-time being like star, Deshaun Watson, and he wants out of the conference. So congrats to Urban. I think for him it's the best job he could possibly do, and it makes the Jags, I said this about James Harden and Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Interesting's okay, too. Jacksonville now is interesting. That's okay. Nothing wrong with interesting. Not many teams are championship caliber. Ravens, Packers, Saints, Chiefs, those are championship caliber. And Jacksonville's going to be interesting. I'm all for it. Coming up next, just something to think about with 7 NFL coaching options. Why isn't anybody asking a guy who we know would be successful? Why is he not getting calls? I'll talk about that next. Ever wonder just how far an extra mile really goes? Drive a Mercedes-Benz van and find out. They've got a variety. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, Mercedes-Benz Metris. It's all about whatever your play and lifestyle and work style looks like. Right now, you could win a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. Go to foxsportsradio.com. They're having a contest. It's called Fox Sports Radio's Ultimate Tailgate Rig Sweepstakes. You can enter until January 24th. You have 2 weeks. You could win this van. It's amazing. You can look it up. I'm on a YouTube video with it. They've got 6 TVs, 2 grills, 6 swivel chairs, lights and music choreographed, an awning in case it's too hot or a little wet outside. These are unbelievable tailgating Mercedes-Benz vans. And you could win one. Just go to foxsportsradio.com, enter, check out the rules. Mercedes-Benz vans. Some equipment described as optional.
At Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code Mikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app. January 14th through 17th. Jersey Mike's.
Oh my God. And you were right. Hey, one of those 2 teams, Brandon, one of those 2 teams has a chance of making it to the Super Bowl this year. Both Lamar and Josh Allen with a lot to gain from winning a title. But who's got the most to gain? Nick Wright, you got a list, I'm sure. Why don't you run our guy Greg Jennings through it now?
Oh! All right, Greg. I've done this every year, but I don't know if you've ever been a part of it. It's an annual tradition. People mark their calendars. The win's a Thursday, before a divisional round weekend. We give you 8 players with the most gain by winning the Super Bowl. 8 players, 8 teams. We'll start with number 8. Tom Brady. He has the 8th most to gain of any player. You might say, oh, why isn't he higher? He's already the GOAT. He's at the top of the mountain. You can't go higher. Like, what's Usain Bolt got to gain by winning another gold medal? Not much. He's already the greatest track and field athlete of all time. Now, you could argue for Brady, he's trying to catch LeBron for greatest team sport athlete ever, but he can't do that anyway. So, Brady, he's a made man. Another made man who actually doesn't have that much to gain, Patrick Mahomes. Guess what? Mahomes is going to have a chance to win a Super Bowl every year for like the next 15. Now, he could lose ground if somehow he loses to Baker Mayfield and the Browns 10-point favorites. But assuming they win the game, he's AFC Championship game or further every single year of his career that he's been a starter. So you already consider him the greatest player in the league. He doesn't have as much to gain as the other guys. You might say, wait, that's 2 heads. Who could that be? The one team whose quarterback is not represented. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. Here's why. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, I believe Jalen Ramsey cements himself as Hall of Famer. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, Aaron Donald starts to build the case. Forget best D tackle ever. Forget best D line ever. I'm going for what old Brandon Marshall said. What about best defensive player ever? Lawrence Taylor might be that. He's got 2 rings. Deion Sanders might be that. He's got 2 rings. Aaron Donald's currently sitting with 0. If you carry this team with this quarterback to a Super Bowl, you start talking about him alongside Mean Joe Green and the other guys I mentioned as greatest defensive players of any position ever. Number 5, Drew Brees. And 5 works because if you win the Super Bowl, the top 5 quarterback of all time. Right now, there's some argument. Where is Drew Brees? Well, he has all those records, the first or second in every passing category, but he only has the 1 ring and the 1 Super Bowl appearance. Win another one, 2 rings. He vaults himself up the list, and some people, they'll be wrong, but some people will even argue he was better than Peyton Manning. Number 4, the guy Drew Brees, I think, is going to have to go through in the NFC Championship game. Aaron Rodgers. He's about to have 3 MVPs. He's going to win this one, unfortunately. If he gets another Super Bowl a decade apart, you can make the argument he's the 2nd greatest quarterback in the history of the sport. You can make the argument he surpasses Manning and Montana, even though Montana's got 4 rings and Manning has 5 MVPs. All right, now 3 guys who haven't won anything yet. Josh Allen, he's playing for the Mahomes contract. As an added bonus for him and all of Bill's Mafia, he's also playing to force my retirement, my exile from